The reason for FTR dropping the AEW World Tag Team Championships against Big Bill and Ricky Starks on AEW Collision this past weekend has now possibly been revealed, with Cash Wheeler reportedly dealing with an injury. Cody Rhodes denies that he is a liaison to AEW talent who want to come over to WWE. Dragon Lee has seemingly been moved to the main roster as he's now listed as a member of the SmackDown brand. John Cena gives an update on his WWE future, with the strikes in Hollywood seemingly close to coming to an end. Battle of the Bouts 8, we have a date and location for that, plus Hulk Hogan confirms he signed a new deal with WWE. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. And let's start off talking about FTR and their shocking tag team title defeat this past weekend on AEW Collision. Led to a lot of people speculating about their future, despite the fact that they had just signed new contracts with All Elite Wrestling. Of course, in addition to that, Dax Harwood, but last week had filed to trademark the term CMFTR, of course that being FTR and CM Punk, who's no longer with AEW and reportedly in talks for a WWE return. So plenty of people were speculating, is there something we don't know about when it comes to FTR and their future? Well, we covered the story yesterday that FTR indeed are not leaving AEW. So why did they drop the tag team championships? Well, this past Saturday in the opening match on AEW Collision, Ricky Starks and Big Bill did the unthinkable and defeated FTR for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Since their loss, there's been speculation that the former tag team champions were leaving AEW, as we mentioned, but Dax Harwood was quick to squash those rumors. On the latest Wrestling Observer radio episode, Brian Alvarez revealed the real reason behind them dropping the titles in less than 5 minutes, which is Cash Wheeler dealing with an injury. Quote, "Well, Cash is injured," said Alvarez. That's the story. The story they told on television was it was at the pay-per-view Wrestle Dream when Aussie Open ran them together. They sold it like he'd injured his ribs there. It's unclear how long Wheeler will be out of action for, but he wasn't the only one to have injured himself during that Wrestle Dream tag team match either, as Aussie Open's Mark Davis broke his wrist during the bout as well. Before losing the titles on the October 7 episode of Collision, FTR had held the titles since defeating the Guns on the April 5th episode of AEW Dynamite. They defended the titles against the likes of Better Than You Baby, that being Adam Cole and MJF, the Young Bucks, Bullet Club Golds, Jay White and Juice Robinson, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. It was their second reign as the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Of course, their first reign was 3 years ago, lasting from September 2020 to November 2020 as well. So that's a bit of an update. If we get any more details on how long Wheeler is expected to be out for, when FTR could be back, as well as plans for Ricky Starks and Big Bill moving forward, we'll let you know. Now, Cody Rhodes, of course, he was one of the first big talents to jump from AEW to WWE. Recently, we've seen Jade Cargill do the same. And Cody Rhodes was asked after Fastlane, after winning the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships, if he's acting as maybe an unofficial liaison with some AEW talent that may want to make a similar jump that he did. Now, shortly after signing with WWE, former AEW TBS champion Jade Cargill revealed that Cody Rhodes' presence in the company was one of the leading factors that persuaded her to make the move to WWE. Of course, this past weekend, Cargill made an appearance on the WWE Fastlane Kickoff show, the same premium live event Rhodes later won the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships with, alongside Jey Uso. During the Fastlane press conference after the show, Rhodes shared his thoughts on Cargill's arrival to WWE, saying, quote, "I was very excited for her to make this jump and very proud," Rhodes said. "Jade came from the Nightmare Factory, but I didn't train her. I'm going to tell people in the future when I write my book, maybe I did, but no. QT Marshall and Caroline Kowali set her up. They trained her and they've helped her get the spot where she took this big leap. So I'm just very proud. Now the work begins. There is a mindset here at WWE that did not exist. Maybe it did and I didn't notice it, but didn't exist when I was here the first time. It's the most team-minded group that I've ever seen as far as how the show comes together. This is an individual business. It's tricky. It's political. It's show business. That team mindset, what we have, has proved so fruitful." Now, I just hope she can rise to the challenge and the occasion. I think for sure she'll be able to. Now, when asked if he had chatted with other AEW stars about potentially coming aboard to WWE, Rhodes clarified that he has no intentions of being the liaison between his former colleagues and WWE. Rhodes asserts that everyone's circumstances are different, and ultimately, he hopes that every talent chooses the path they believe is best suited for them. So Rhodes denying that, but the question is, do you believe him? Do you think Cody Rhodes is and could be acting as an unofficial liaison between himself and AEW talent? Of course, he was an AEW executive vice president. Everyone seemingly liked him in the company, or at least the majority did. So could Rhodes be a sounding board for talent that could jump from AEW to WWE in the future? Let me know your thoughts about that. Now, of course, we do know that Cody Rhodes is going to appear on NXT tomorrow in that big head-to-head night in which AEW Dynamite is going head-to-head with WWE NXT. We will be doing a live watch-along and a live post-show for that as well, so be sure to join us live on Tuesday night. But when it comes to Rhodes in NXT, it's quite significant because when you talk about NXT and Rhodes, one name comes up as being an instrumental figure in NXT's history, and that being the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, Cody's father. Now, prior to his death in 2015, WWE Hall of Famer Dusty Rhodes lent his extensive wrestling knowledge to the up-and-coming superstars in the company's developmental territory NXT, serving as one of the coaches at the Performance Center. During the WWE Fastlane press conference, Dusty's son, Cody Rhodes, was asked if he had an interest in fulfilling the same role someday. Quote, "My manager can tell you this. When I came back to WWE, I flat out told them I will never step in the foot in the Performance Center. The reason was not my dislike of the Performance Center, it's Dusty's everywhere in there, and it's hard," Cody said. Then I ended up being in the Performance Center like a month later to do medical or something. Okay, I went back on that. Dusty taught communication. He taught promos. He called it communication. No one really filled that spot after he left. I always thought somebody like a Mick Foley or somebody would fill that spot. Somebody who's been there did it. While Cody is apprehensive to take on a training position at the Performance Center, he will return to the venue for Tuesday's episode of NXT, where he's slated to make a major announcement. The contents of his announcement have yet to be revealed, but Cody did promise that he's looking forward to having some fun with this special appearance, although a part of him is also genuinely terrified to be back at the Performance Center. Of course, Cody's NXT appearance comes on the heels of his victory at Fastlane, which saw him and Jey Uso defeat the Judgment Day to win the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. So what are your predictions for Cody Rhodes' announcement this coming Tuesday? What do you think it is? What do you think he's going to say? Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments section below. Now, Dragon Lee, an NXT star, seemingly is now officially on the main roster. Dragon Lee has officially been moved to the main roster from NXT and been added to the SmackDown brand. Lee had his main roster debut match against Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship on the September 25th edition of Monday Night Raw. After that, he appeared on the September 29th episode of SmackDown to watch Rey Mysterio vs. Santos Escobar, which also led to a confrontation between Lee and Austin Theory to set up a match for the following week. In that match on October 6th, Lee actually picked up the win over Theory. WWE has now made the main roster switch official, with Dragon Lee now being listed on the SmackDown roster on WWE's website. Of course, Dragon Lee signed with WWE just under a year ago in late 2022 on a contract that was described as, quote, much larger than a usual NXT deal, and one that would seemingly fast-track him onto the main roster. Before signing with WWE, AEW had an interest in signing Dragon Lee to the company also. He had made one appearance on AEW Dynamite teaming up with his brothers. With WWE recently signing both Jade Cargill and Brian Pillman Jr., it has been reported that there is interest in signing more AEW stars, with it being said that, quote, younger AEW stars are already talking about leaving when their deals are up. 2024 is going to be a big year when it comes to contracts within both WWE and AEW, with several stars in both companies' contracts coming up, so we could see a lot of switching over possibly in the near future. Now, John Cena has provided a bit of an update on his immediate WWE future. Of course, Cena having his longest run in half a decade due to the Hollywood strikes. But Cena has provided a big update on his future, confirming that his run with WWE would end with a SAG-AFTRA strike settlement. Numerous Hollywood projects were put on ice when the SAG-AFTRA Actors Union strike began on July 14. Since then, actors have been campaigning for fairer contracts, with SAG-AFTRA members unable to work for major Hollywood studios until the union and the studios come to an agreement. During his time away from set, Cena returned to WWE and has been appearing for the company every week since early September. Speaking at the post-Fastlane press conference, Cena stated that the SAG-AFTRA strike ending would force him to end his current run with WWE. Explaining his current situation, Cena said, quote, "I've made it perfectly clear you can't do both because of the liability insurance. And if I were to try and juggle both, it would be incredibly selfish because I'd put a lot of people in the movie business out of work if something happened to me. I stopped a project in the middle of it because of the strike. I can't even talk about the project because of the strike we're in, but we're in the middle of it. So as soon as we get back to work, I'll get back to work, but I don't control any of that. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping we can find a resolve that everybody's happy with. For right now, this is the best way I feel I can help, is to come back home to my WWE family." Now, it's currently unclear how much longer the strike will last for. The WGA Writers Union strike ended, and that lasted for 148 days, starting on May 2nd and ending on September 27. As of this recording, the SAG-AFTRA strike has lasted for 86 days, so we'll have to wait and see. But once that situation has resolved itself, Cena will most likely disappear very quickly from WWE television. Now, let's switch gears and talk about AEW and Battle of the Bouts, because we know when the Battle of the Bouts 8 special is going to take place and where it's going to take place too. The air date for the upcoming 8th Battle of the Bouts television special has been revealed. Per PW Insider, the 8th edition of Battle of the Bouts is set to take place on October 21st, 2023 in Memphis, Tennessee. The event will air directly after that night's episode of AEW Collision. The event taking place on October 21st means it will also go head-to-head with Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory pay-per-view event on the same day. The last AEW Battle of the Bouts special on July 15 drew an increase in overall viewership from the previous edition of the event. Of course, that took place after the Owen Hart Foundation tournament finals involving CM Punk and Ricky Starks. The main event of the previous event saw Lance Archer challenge Orange Cassidy for the AEW International Championship. No matches have been announced for the upcoming event as of this recording, so once we get more details on that, we'll let you know. Finally, Hulk Hogan has revealed that he has signed a new contract with WWE, and this one actually might be the truth. WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan revealed in an interview with Chris Van Vliet on his podcast, Insight with Chris Van Vliet, that he has renewed his contract with the promotion, saying, quote, "I still work with WWE all the time. I just renewed my deal with them," said Hogan. "It's always fun to go out there, and maybe I can hang on to one of the wrestlers to get me out to the ring." Hogan later added that he has been approving merchandise every day and has up to 900 merchandise licenses. The last time that Hulk Hogan was inside of a WWE ring was in 2006 at SummerSlam, where he defeated Randy Orton. A year before that, in 2005, he defeated Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam. After that, he went to Impact Wrestling, then known as TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, where he wrestled his last match in January of 2012, teaming with James Storm and Sting to defeat Hall of Famers Bully Ray and Kurt Angle and Robert Roode. That was actually at a live event. His last televised match actually took place against Sting at Bound for Glory in 2012. While he stepped away from in-ring activities, Hogan made his presence known to fans with pop culture convention appearances, special guest TV appearances, and his on-screen WWE appearances, such as being one of the hosts of WrestleMania 37 and appearing at special WWE events. So there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash the like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.